Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Once again, it's Connery from Out of Work Outdoors. Today I'm going to be going over my top 5 bass fishing lures. In no particular order, we're going to do the Chatterbait. This bait I use a lot on my online tournaments because it's a big bass bait. Okay, it'll get those 5 and 6 pounders to crunch down on it. And I also do very well during tournaments if the conditions allow for it, put it that way. I've also won a couple tournaments, and it's also been a major player for this year. I've even developed like 2 different setups for it. So if you guys want to know more about the Chatterbait, I'll have the video maybe up here somewhere, so you can go watch the full review on it. But the Chatterbait to me, it does 2 things. It's like a crankbait for the grass, and it can cause reaction bites too. So it's been a major player. I like it a lot. It's put me in the winner circle, you can say, or it put me in contention many times. And this is just one of those lures where I throw in the morning, and majority of the time it's going to be in the morning. Yeah. Okay, but it puts out big fish. Okay, number two is the Cinco. Or this was actually a Bass Pro Cinco. It's a sticko worm is what they call it. But the way I have it rigged is a little bit different. This is more about the rig on the Cinco. Because if you guys notice, it's got a gaping giant hook on there. And the O-rings, I got 2 of them on there. Color on the O-rings I don't think matters much. But I have the O-rings on like an X pattern. And then you hook through the X. So what that does is it keeps the worm and the hook, 90 degrees from each other, and it just increases the hookup ratio big time. And to even increase it even more than that, almost a 100% ratio, is you put a gaping hook on it. This is a VMC Nico hook. You can get them locally, but it's the size, which is hard to get. The size is a 2/0. It's the biggest one they offered it. Why so big? Well, we're going to be catching big fish with this. This is the rig I go to during the spring. During the spring, with big females on bed, you want something beefy. I throw this on a bait caster with 30-pound braid and a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. So that's what I've been throwing it all year on, and bass don't care. So they don't care. I don't care. I'll throw something big, But it's been showcased a couple times in tournaments. The Wetumpka tournament where I caught one in the slop. Hit a frog, missed it, fired back out there with a Cinco. That same exact Cinco setup. And he smokes it, but it's about 20 yards out through slop. I was able to, horse him through on that. So that's a big deal. Big gear on the Cinco. Next and foremost, I think you guys hear me talk about this guy a lot. This is the little Keitech 2.8. Pick your poison in terms of colors. I tend to stick with the shad patterns, and on rare occasions I would throw a bluegill color. The bluegill color is called electric bluegill. It's like a real bright orange, and it works real well too. But the jig head is from Buckeye, and it's got a little screw lock here on the shank of the hook, so you can just twist it on, so you don't have to super glue it, and it holds it on real good. And it's just perfect. I love it. Throw it all the time. The way I fish it is basically I chuck it out there, and I let it sink to the bottom, hop it twice. If I don't get a bite, I just low roll it back and then fire it out again. And it's a real simple bait. So for a beginner bait, it's actually pretty good, but it's a little on the expensive side, right? But that's my swim bait, and it's great for hard conditions. It's good for high pressure situations. And you fish it fast. Cover a lot of water with that. And if I can't get them to bite on the little 2.8 and I'm forced to fish a Ned rig, I never fish Ned rigs. If I'm forced to fish Ned rigs, this is a Ned rig that I do. Okay, so this is an owner jig head or Ned head. It's still a mushroom head, but I like the hook. So just pay attention to that. The hook looks really good. Alright, the hook is pretty stout because I throw it on a bait caster. I've been able to put on some pretty good sized fish with this, big smallmouth and stuff like that. And the color of the body itself, you could throw the Z-Mans. I'll have the Z-Man there, and I just throw straight black. But this is actually a locally poured body, And the guy's name is John. He's from Cast Lures, and he has a Facebook group, a Facebook page. I'll shoot the links down there. You can request from him, buy from him, buy locally, and just tell him straight black. That's what I throw. Straight black. Straight black works for all. It's my preferred color, and it's one of the only colors I throw. Okay, so that's the net. The way I fish the net is I bomb it out there. Long cast is key. Bomb it out there. Hop it twice. If they ain't got it by then, hop it another 2 times. Bring it in. Throw it back out. I don't even on the reel end. I don't even slow wind. I just burn it back in. I flip it back out there. I've been able to go behind a lot of people and catch fish with that setup right there. Okay, and then here's my last one. This is the one that I carry all the time. It's a jig, right? But I don't hardly ever have it tied on. I don't have it tied on until I notice that it is time for the knockout punch, right? So I'm not a jig person. I'll be honest. I'm not a jig person. I don't throw the jigs all the time. I prefer the Texas rig plastics over a jig. The only time I throw the jig is when I realize I'm either behind. Well, typically if I'm behind, I'm not gonna throw the jig. It's when I know I'm in contention to win, and I'll throw the jig. Or if I pull up to an area that it's just like it just looks so good. There's gotta be a big bass in the rocks or something. I'll throw the jig. So I've been working on my jig game. I've been working on it. It's my weakness. I've been working on it for a while. And for me, when you say jigs, it's not brush pile fishing. It's not skipping docks. It's not that type of stuff. For me, throwing a jig there's offshore structure, rocks primarily, or shell beds, and you gotta throw something out there. That's where my jig comes in. This jig is a missile baits headbanger. I like the head design on it. It's got a weirdly, it's like a diamond shaped head. Designed by Mike Iaconelli, and it's got a medium wire. Okay, it's not a gaping big wire, it's a medium wire, and you need that when you bomb these things so far out. On fluorocarbon, even on 20-pound fluorocarbon, when you're so far out there, you don't always get a good hook set or good hook penetration, so you need a more medium wire hook. And that's right, that's me too. Since I'm not a jig person, I can say that my hook sets are not that good. Okay, the power behind them is not that good, so I need a medium wire hook to deliver the blow and bring it home. The jig itself is actually it's actually a fairly new jig trailer. I don't think a lot of people even carry it in the store. So this is the Paca Slim, the 4-inch with the Pinterest dyed blue. It comes dyed blue, which is something I like. I really like it. I don't know why other companies don't do it more, but kudos and thumbs ups and everything likes to Paca for that. So it comes dyed blue, red, or black. I think you could get them pre-dyed. That's excellent. I always buy them pre-dyed. But anyways, where do I fish the jig? So the jig, to me, I'll give you a story, and then hopefully that illustrates when you need to throw a jig. Okay, so the jig, I think everybody knows that I came in second place at the BBKC with this exact same jig, same setup, 1/2 ounce. I throw the jig when I absolutely have to. I don't usually just go out and start chucking the jig. I'll throw a crankbait, 10 times in front of a jig. I'll throw everything else in front of the jig. But I do understand the jig will put out big fish if it gets bit. So BBKC 2019 up until about maybe 11:30, I was throwing my traditional stuff, all the stuff I just mentioned. That got me to about 78 inches, but there's like a million people stacked at 78. You have to do something different to get in front of those guys. So when I uploaded my fish and I checked the leaderboard, I knew I was behind. I was in the top 15, but it was only a matter of seconds between you, and it wasn't a matter of like inches, not even inches, quarter inches between you, tiebreakers and all that, as how you get between. Anyways, I looked at the leaderboard and I saw my buddy Mike, and I knew he was throwing a jig too. And he was doing very well. He was already at 85 inches. So I figured, all right, we have this jig. We need to start using it. So scrap the game plan. Get your biggest, beefiest rod out. Put the jig on it. Well, at the time I already had a finesse jig tied on, but cut the finesse jig off. Put the full-size jig on. and go to town. You need to get something going, some big bass bite going. So anyways, I started doing things I'm not supposed to do. Start fishing offshore, islands type stuff, and I get to this one spot, wind's blowing on it. It's weird how it worked that day. It'll probably never happen again, but there's wind blowing, it's a crosswind, there's mud coming off of the island, wind's blowing like 25 miles an hour, and I throw my little Keitech out there. I get smoked first cast. It's like a 15-incher. But the thing is, there was like 2 or 3 fish that bit it, because I remember it bit once, twice, and then the third one got it. So I had 3 bites on one cast. So I knew it was a decent population. It was like a 15-incher. So I figured, all right, put that down, fire the jig out there. I fired the jig out there, and I started catching them. In the next hour, I would call out 4 of my 5 fish. Those 4 would bring me all the way up to, I think it was 87 inches, which was good enough for second place, and that was all done on the jig. Okay, so that's where my jigging comes in. And the other thing is, if you are in contention to win and you need a big bite, and you can find areas where you can say, okay, I just need one more bite and I got this, jig plays that role. Alright guys, so anyways, that's my top 5 for 2019. Hopefully that helps you guys. I know this year I've been more of a finesse. I'm trying to build more finesse into my my lineup. Before this year, it was all power fishing, and I did well with that too. But there's some this year I started out power fishing, and I just kind of knew it wasn't going to be a power fishing year, so I forced myself to adapt to the finesse game. And guess what? Guess who wins the angle of the year? My brother. My brother Will wins it, doing mostly finesse, mostly. So his game is strong in finesse, much stronger game in finesse than I am. And he's won 3 angler years. He's the only one to win 3 angler of the years for our circuit, and he's only the one to win it back to back. So he's just that good. But he throws a lot of shaky heads. He throws a lot of finesse stuff, Ned rigs, a lot of dragon worms type stuff, a lot of swim baits. He doesn't throw chatterbaits. He doesn't throw full-size jigs, that type of stuff. So that's me, and he doesn't throw crankbaits. So that's me, and that's him. We do 2 totally different things, and you'll see when he releases his videos how different his top 5s are gonna be from mine. Okay, so if you like this video, if it helped you out, if you even if we helped you out a little bit, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and maybe even share the video. And so, with that being said, that's the end of the video. I will see you on the next one, and good hunting, good fishing, tight lines. See you on the next one.